the driver's seat. You're at the
one.
helm.
Well, we kind of share it. So anyway, we're live, so we're just getting ready, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So
you're at the helm, like Chester Nimitz.
Yes.
Aboard the Enterprise.
Like a hippo. Wait, no.
Like a hippo. Hungry hippos.
So yeah, I started season 3 Drive to Survive last night, and I finished it this morning.
Sounds about right.
Cranked through it.
Well, the only thing I'll say is I haven't even started watching it. I'll probably try it this weekend. I've been watching Big Mouth, which is just absolutely insanely, stupidly hilarious and crude. Just that's all I'm going to say. So, okie dokes. Let's see. So, everybody get ready.
Oh, and I also listened to Matt Farah's podcast this week, which had the Jensen Button and the dude from Radford on it. So,
oh yeah,
learned a little bit more about Radford. I'm sure you're familiar with them, being a British outfit. Yeah, for sure.
Das Gutens. Maybe I'll just do a completely really offbeat German accent through the entire podcast.
That might not work considering what are the topics.
I don't care.
She might find it funny.
I do not care. That's the whole thing. Basically, I'll just do Sergeant Schultz every so often. I know nothing. It's like that. Okay. I don't know. We can get an early start if you guys are all ready to rock and roll and pretend we know what we're doing. I like pretending that we know what we're doing.
That's been my entire life.
It is my life.
Is make it till you fake it? Is that right?
Yeah. Fake it till you make it.
Can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit.
That's how it works, kids. Oh, that's great. Okay, let's see. Ooh, I just I'm so tired. I got this horrible heartburn. It just will not go away. All right, there we go. Okay. You guys going to rock and roll this thing?
Hoochie coo.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think we're good to go. All right. Let's get into the action. All right. So we're going to start up. So how's it going, everybody? So you are listening to the Color Cars podcast. So we do have tonight, it is me, of course. We have David, Hayden, and Jordan.
Hello.
Don't nobody say hi. We don't really care.
No.
It's all right.
I'll get a tagline.
Yes. Yes. We all gonna have a tagline tonight. Mine is hippo. Well, Hayden, that's a very hippo thing to say. Anyway, let's just get right into it. Okay, we're going to go through the events that are currently going to be happening. So March 27th at 10 a.m., there is the second annual Festivus Old School Car Show. It's in Brass Saddle, which is 1725 West Pueblo Drive and in Pueblo, Colorado. So you definitely go check that out. It is definitely really old school. There's going to be lowriders, etc. So I would definitely go check that out if you're in the area or if you feel like a drive in down. Is it down or up or middle? I don't care. To Pueblo. So that's what we got there.
Sounds like fun.
Yes.
So Empire Nismo enthusiasts will be doing their thing this, I'm sorry, not this Saturday. Is it this Saturday? I don't even know what
the 27th? Yes, it's this Saturday.
It is this Saturday. Wow.
That's incredibly hippo.
This Saturday at 4 p.m. at Empire Littleton Nissan at 5067 South Wadsworth Boulevard in Littleton. Giveaways, food, music, and sweet rides. Just respect the lot.
Yeah.
Nice.
Definitely.
Also on Saturday is Dubs and Donuts. Dubs as in Volkswagens, not wins. That is at Tasty Donuts in Commerce City at 10 a.m. It says calling all Volkswagens and Euros. I don't know if you're allowed to go if you have a Japanese car or anything like that.
Oh yeah, you can.
No, they're usually all makes and models welcome, but expect a high Euro presence.
Yes, a high Volkswagen content, because actually Dubs and Donuts is actually pretty good to go. If you've never done it, I would suggest you go and see some old school Volkswagens.
It should be decent weather too. So
Yes, excellent.
And then the weekend after, April 3rd, at 8 a.m., there is Lone Tree Cars and Coffee, and that's 9941 Lone Tree Parkway over down by Park Meadows. And I don't know anything else about it. Went to the page. Just it sounds like just a Cars and Coffee down in Lone Tree.
Yep. So definitely go check that out. More people go, the faster it grows, and it will stick around. So that's definitely good to see. And then, of course, the following week on April 3rd again at 6 p.m. to who knows when. Ooh, it's Dragon Man's Hot Rod Meetup. So that is at the old Kmart lot on Palmer Park Boulevard and North Power Boulevard in the Springs. So there's some Springs action happening, which is good to see. So if you're in the Springs, definitely on April 3rd, just go check that out. Dragon Man's Hot Rod Meetup. So that are the majority of the events that are out there. All our events are on the events tab, of course, and our announcements. So definitely go check those out. So we're going to get right into it. Honestly,
we also have one more there. There's also a Cars and we have our own Cars and Boba this Sunday.
Oh yes. Which is going to post. There'll be more details on that. It's a benefit for the victims of what happened in Boulder, which we're not going to get into, but we all know what happened. So that's going to be there. It's at Cars and Boba, the one on it's the Boba place. It's Mini Moose on Arapahoe Road. So there'll be more details. They'll be posted up and everything, hopefully by the end of this podcast. But yeah, thanks, Hayden, on that one.
Yeah, no problem.
So we're going to get right into it. I know a lot of you know that Sabine Schmidt did pass away. Cancer. It was a long battle. I knew she had cancer. Some people were surprised by that, but I follow more of the European car scene than most people do, in my opinion. So yeah. So she lost her battle with cancer. She was the age of 51, which is my age. So a lot of people who follow Top Gear kind of know her. I've known her before that because she was the first and only woman to win the 24 hours in the Nürburgring. That was back in 94, wasn't it, Hayden? 94, 95?
Probably something like that. I actually didn't know. Yeah. I actually didn't. I knew she was the only woman to do it. I don't know the year off the top of my head.
Yeah, it was. Remember, it was.
We should have it right here somewhere.
Yeah, 96 and 97 and all that good stuff. So basically, and then of course everybody knows her as the queen of the Nürburgring. She basically ran the Nürburgring taxi. I know a lot of people had that on their bucket list that unfortunately won't be able to achieve with her taking her around. So at least, I mean, she drove at least 20,000 laps of the Nürburgring. Just think about that. 20,000 laps.
So she a lot to do it once.
So she had a unique opportunity to drive, to grow up there and drive as many laps because she was from Nürburgring, of course.
Yep.
Had parents that were racing drivers, so basically just grew up on the track. And yeah, obviously unfortunate, but just I always just looked up to her a lot because just the Nürburgring being my favorite track and just her being the absolute master of it as far as just sheer reps. Of course, she never got a record like she's obviously will always have the first woman to win the 24, but never got that big record like Stefan Beloff or was it Timo Bernhard? So
yeah.
There's also a really big push online to get a corner named after her, and there are still a few corners that don't have any names. The petition right now is about a little over 45,000 people.
Is there a spot where they have like arrows pointing to like the corners that they're proposing?
There's a lot of question marks. I believe there's about 6 corners that they're looking for.
Yeah, luckily there's plenty to go around. at the Nürburgring.
Right.
It's hard to even count them, but they say people say like over 100, 120, 130. So
Depends on how you count them. Yeah.
right.
Yep.
It's not even the straights are not really straight for very
right.
long. They all kind of can tend to curve, going up. This is really getting deep. But after you go out of where Nicky Lauda had his accident at Bergwerk, and you go up the hill, you can see the castle on the left, and that hill is flat out in most cars. And then in very fast, like GT3 cars, the fastest cars that race there, you do have to brake for the left hand bend. But yeah, even most things are you're just flat out, and you just it's kind of like going up the Loveland Pass. You just lose speed as you're going up the hill. So it's good.
Well, according to the article I just found, there is somewhere between 73 and 170 corners, depending on what you.
Yeah, depending on which way you look at it.
Yeah, I really have heard more than 150 plus. I think was it. I was just trying to give a nice conservative number that still sounded good.
So I know there's a petition out there, which we were just talking about, having Nürburgring like name a corner after her. You don't need a petition, kids. Okay. You really don't. Yeah. Nürburgring knows exactly who she was and what she's done. They're very, so it's going to happen. It's just that thing. It just give them the time they need to do what they need to do, because that entire family there is grieving. The entire Nürburgring staff. I mean, this is not somebody who just turned up every so often in the summer and did things. This is a person that lived, breathed, born there, died there, and everything. So it's going to happen. So
do we know who runs it? Is it the local government?
If I remember right, it is the local government.
Okay. Yeah, they can just get that done.
Yeah, they'll definitely take care of it. I just want to digress real quick. So if we have more information on the mini moves, but I can't post it up real quick. But Steve, could you highlight that comment you left for us in the private chat? You can't do it either.
Steve, come in, Steve.
Huh. Oh, okay, well, we lost that, so I'm just going to read it. So just so we all know, so definitely this Sunday, noon to 4, we will take the donations for the families of the Boulder shooting tragedy and donate them to Colorado Healing Fund. Mini Moves will also donate 50% of the proceeds for that day. So it is Cars and Boat on Mini Moves Tea Shop, which is off of Arapahoe Road. So just in case you're listening, you guys can Google it right now, but we will have a post up on that. But I just wanted to emphasize that real quick. So perfect. Okay. And I know, Jordan, we kind of didn't let you comment on Sabine. So
no, it's just sad. But I mean, I was introduced to her probably in the way many were through Top Gear.
Yeah, so. She was on, of course, the German Top Gear, Die Motor.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I really want to get to the ring at some point.
Oh yeah, that's a big goal. I'll stay in touch with you. Yeah, it might be able to happen.
A lot of us,
maybe summer after next, but we'll see.
A lot of us have talked about going to the 24-hour Nürburgring and all that stuff. You guys
that's the number one motorsport party in the world, as far as I've heard. I've heard Le Mans is pretty good, but really,
the German, and
24 hours in Nürburgring is where it's at.
Yeah,
and I got to say, I'm proud to say that I've been to America's version, which is 12 hours of Sebring,
baby. So I would love to go. I mean, you never know. We all could get a trip together and go. You guys can enjoy yourselves, do your thing. I'll go to the race. I'll leave, go to my sister because she lives right outside of Stuttgart in the Black Forest, and y'all can go do whatever, because I'm not dealing with you people. I'll go see the race, and I'll go hang with my sister, and we'll do some German stuff with her German husband, who's super German.
And this is in Germany?
Super German. He's super German. He's a really, really good guy. But yeah. So yeah, definitely. So yeah, I mean, most people were just by Sabine from Top Gear, and I will say this: I am always love seeing that little episode. I love seeing Clarkson look like an idiot because, in my opinion, he's a giant asshole. So it's fun watching that. And before any of you sit there and go, but Top Gear is the greatest automotive show ever. I watched the original Top Gear, the most boringest car show ever. And guess who was a presenter? Oh, Jeremy Clarkson. So
It
trust
wasn't-
me.
Because it wasn't Clarkson alone
It
that
wasn't-
had it.
it was-
He had to get a Willman.
No,
he
I
had
know.
to get an Andy Willman to.
No,
and then
it'd
a
be
reformat,
basically
you know?
the original Top Gear is literally a car show of, and here's a mini Metro. It's like,
Yeah. It was an automotive TV magazine.
Yeah.
it was
Just
but it was great as a
informative.
kid.
Informative automotive television.
It was
Just
totally good
regular
as a kid.
cars for regular people.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
totally good on the as a kid. But anyway, so that's a little bit of sad news, right on the heels of Murray, who is an idol of mine. Which
Yeah, not
nobody
great.
in the
Not,
news said.
not a great couple weeks
Yeah.
for motorsport. Jeez.
Yeah. So on that note, I think we should break away from the sadness and let's get into some comedy.
Some Schadenfreude.
Yeah, I'm saying let's pick up on the wonderful world of the erratic Tesla full self-driving video erratic behavior. I think that's fun to talk about. And so I watched the video Hayden did and David did. So I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hand it off to those two. Hayden, go right
I
ahead.
have
And David,
not actually
follow
watched
up.
the video.
oh, well,
Well,
Hayden,
of
take
course
it. Go for it.
Yeah, watch it real quick, and because it takes a small intro, because what maybe people do or they don't realize it if they don't follow Tesla. But for the last few years, you've been able, of course, their updates are largely over the air, and for the last few years, you've been able to get the full self-driving, right? That's what it was called in their terms, the full self-driving upgrade. And I think it was a lot. I think it was like $10,000. And of course they drop it over the air to you when it's ready. Well, some video came out of this week of somebody trying one of the betas, and it multiple times very nearly made a left-hand turn across traffic right in front where it would have definitely had a T-bone collision. And of course, like guy took back over or whatever, but it didn't actually pull out, but it was 100% going to.
Yeah,
And
we're playing a little bit of another video of that where they can see what it's doing. But yes, go ahead, Hayden. Sorry.
No, there wasn't much more. There wasn't much more to it, really. But also, because of course I follow Elon on Twitter. Guy rules. Got to see what he's up to. They were going to release some kind of like limited self-driving, full self-driving beta on, for customers, obviously. And then the demand was too great. And then they said that they were going to make it like a button that they would download that you could opt into if you wanted to. And I don't know. I think they had some kind of update. Like it was being kind of like fundamentally like revamped. I don't know. The video just was definitely disturbing.
Yeah, the video is. I mean, you should definitely go see it. Actually, I think I can post the link.
Do it. One of the definitely probably the most disturbing Tesla self-driving video since that guy with his family in the car that got super close to the barrier. that one still takes the crown for me. But
Yes.
obviously it's shown that this technology is just not quite as close as what everybody seems to think that it is.
Yeah.
Because what's the goal? We have the autonomous pods, right? They just drive around, no drivers, and they just pick you up and take you where you need to go. But the truth is that maybe way further out or just pie in the sky at this point.
Yeah,
right.
As I'm watching this is a downtown environment. There's so much going on. And all these different data inputs, whether it's pedestrians, bicycles, a dog, a squirrel, a car, a truck, everybody pulling out in front, where that's so much information to process and make decisions on, even just for people.
Right.
It's very much in contrast to what Ford and GM are doing with their Super Cruise, and with the active driver assists that are coming out, that are essentially only good on interstates and major U.S. highways and limited access roads.
Right.
Well, yeah, those are level 2 and level 3, autonomous solutions. We're talking about 5 here, like where everything is going to, like, there is no ability for a driver to take back over, and
Right.
it's fully trusted and fully insured.
Yeah.
So throwing that one out there, Jordan, did you get to take a look at the wonderful world of self-driving Tesla?
Yeah, no, I've been following it for years and all the videos. So basically, a Tesla video in the headlines. Oh my gosh.
It's always juicy, isn't it? It's never it's never too disappointing.
Is it very hippopotamy?
And to paraphrase Mean Girls, stop trying to make hippo happen.
Hey, Hayden, just you gotta love Hayden. He just picks up on these little things. It's wonderful, perfect. Thank you, Hayden. Anyway, Jordan, go ahead.
That's what I mean.
I mean, they get all the headlines. Like they have the largest.
Well, there's such a big story in the financial world, man.
Mhm.
Like
Wait,
they're
hippos.
Yes, this is ticker symbol HPPO.
There it is.
Yeah.
So in case anybody's confused, this is really the Hippo and Hippo Cars and Hippo Pod Hippocast. Anyway, Jordan, continue, and Hayden, continue. You guys have some
Jordan,
fun.
go ahead.
They're just, there's always in the news for something. And I mean, when you think about the millions of Teslas in the world, granted, something's going to go wrong and take the headlines, to give it the benefit of the doubt. But it's, we're still quite a ways out from level 5,
right?
Like a long ways. And people initially attacked them over autopilot because it was like, hey, this can't actually pilot for me automatically. But, with autopilot, they actually went for the terminology used on planes. If a pilot's using autopilot on a plane, it's not like the pilot can just go take a nap. Like, he still has to be there. So that made sense. But full self-driving is what's getting a lot of headlines, especially in the title, like full self-driving. It's like, but it doesn't really do that.
Right. I mean, I was going to comment because I've watched this video and I watched, the other one, and it is a clickbaitable like title, which is fine because it is Tesla, and as Hayden said, they are a monster in the financial world, etc. They're a monster in the EV world. Elon likes to shake things up and everything. So of course, if you're going to post something like that, the more clickbaity it is, the better for you. But it is definitely, it seems to be, it's not a full self-driving. It's almost like, what's the best way? It's almost like they're testing the navigation system that's going to be used for full level 5. It's like throw it in there, see what it does, what is going on. It's just like the early days of I totally forgot what I was going to say. Of Nap of the Earth. Like, so back in the day when I was a kid, 70s, you had the the F-111, Raven and all that. It was Nap of the Earth, and it was very like, damn thing, we're flying the mountains because they're still testing all that, downward looking Doppler and stuff. So this is what it seems like to me. But what's interesting is, as Hayden was saying, it's like it loves left-hand turns. It just wants to go left. It's like left.
Yeah,
left. It's crazy.
I can do it. I swear, it's fine.
They're gathering so much data, which is good. Like, but basically, we are the beta fish, like that.
Right.
And I don't know another way to do it. Like, I know companies like, I think Waymo got like millions of miles of self-driving learning in the GTA environment. Because that already had, the physics and water and snow and like stoplights and stop signs, and the AI, as it's learning, it doesn't know that it's fake. So that was good, but you have to take it to the real world at some point. And so it's kind of hard because, like, how else are they going to really develop it unless they start getting it out there?
Right.
The title's still misleading, and it's still a bit scary. But as long as you pay attention and you're in control, theoretically you're okay.
Right.
But it's still, even a lot of these videos, like, as long as you're paying attention, you're still statistically safer than any other car. So it's like, the risk is fairly low if you are doing your part, but it is misleading because you're using something called full self-driving, except you have to be there full time.
I was never a fan of the autopilot name, and I think full self-driving is even more egregious. Just because, yes, if you know how planes work, if you're even the most casual of aviation enthusiasts, you know how it works. I mean, you set a heading, you set a speed, and it will go to that heading at that speed until it runs out of fuel if nobody intervenes.
Mhm.
So yeah, and that's obviously so much more of a simple environment because there's nothing, you're just in the sky, and
Right.
planes are staggered. Planes going on the same routes are staggered at intervals of 1,000 feet, and that's it. But most people are probably like, does the plane land itself?
Yes.
No, it does
actually.
not. No, it does not. So the same way that this thing is going to miss like some red lights, and infamously light colored 53-foot trailers, that it's you got to watch it. It's not something that you can just let go and film your pornography or play a guitar or get make a cool TikTok video.
Yeah.
Well, I do that
A
now.
nap.
in the ZHP, right?
No. The RAV4. The reason why I bought the RAV4
okay.
has more room for hippos.
Damn it.
That being said, I'm
gonna
still
get
kind of
you that one.
I'm gonna get you a baby hippo by the time this podcast is done, and then
Can
you're
I
not
eat
gonna. It's gonna be too cute for you to eat it or let it go, and then you're
eat
just
lamb.
gonna. And
Are you
then
kidding me?
you're gonna
I eat
and-
lamb. I eat
Oh,
veal.
cool.
To the
Yeah, let's
cutest
see you kill.
animals ever.
Let's see you kill a lamb or a veal. Okay, I don't believe. I don't think you have it in you,
You
We're
sure
not
about
gonna
that?
take
Mr. Marine tough guy.
You sure? Because I shot a pig in the head and then slit its throat. So hey, anyway, we totally digress.
What, did you
here.
not shoot it in the head good enough? What's wrong?
No.
with you, dude?
No. You shoot anyway. It's just anyway. You pop it and then you slit the throat to bleed it out.
All right.
Anyway, so we totally digress. The only
This
thing I
episode
want
brought to you by PETA.
from people for the ethical treatment of meat. So the only thing I want from Tesla, from this level 5 full automation, is a whole fleet of Johnny cabs. Can I possibly just get that?
What's a
I will be
Johnny
happy.
What?
Total Recall, kids.
Total Recall.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Johnny
It's
Cab.
a Johnny Cab.
I'm really bad about a lot of movies.
Have a
You don't
nice
learn this
day.
Hey, that's all I want. That's all I want. Elon, if you're listening on podcast, because we know you don't, but Johnny
But he
Cab.
does. But he does get into singular movies, so this
Yes.
is possible. If he gets
Yes.
into Total Recall, then everything will be like Spaceballs, where like it's all the marketing
Yes.
stuff is named after it.
Yes.
Seriously,
Yes.
ludicrous mode and all that.
Yes,
Yeah, man.
it's great.
They should have just called it Autopilot Plaid. Like,
Yes.
just keep
That would have
the
been
Autopilot
fine.
name until
This
you're
is-
like 2030 when level 5 is ready. Then you call it full self-driving.
Yeah. You
And
know,
if anybody-
honestly, yeah.
If there's anybody listening on audio and they think that Jordan's an unreasonable Tesla hater, I will tell you he's drinking out of a Tesla water bottle.
Yeah,
Right now.
okay,
the
he's like,
loudest
yeah.
Tesla bottle you can find.
And he's purposely tilting
I thought
it
you
when he
meant-
drinks so it's that
He's
you
showing the
see
logo.
Tesla. Yeah, it's
It's
like
it's actually an Apple bottle, but I put
Yeah,
a Tesla
she's
logo.
put a
you
on
see.
it.
Look at
Tesla
this. This is it. This is it right here. I wish. On
Me in a
on
nutshell.
audio, just go to like YouTube and find it, and you'll see it. He is
Are you a
shamelessly
double-
self-promoting.
Are you a
freaking
double
Tesla.
agent for Elon? I don't even know how you get a sticker like that.
It's,
So
it's
there-
like
there is-
this. It's like
You guys met my brother, so he worked at
Yes.
Tesla while I worked at Apple. So we just come home every day and just like
all that. Right, just
laugh
go
about
for it,
the
right?
companies. Yeah.
That's great.
So, I mean, that's what I'm. For me, I don't really mind self-driving cars. It's just the way it's going to be, and it is. The technology is going to improve, and it always will. And so, eventually, hopefully, before I die, in the next 30 years, because I'm hoping to live 30 more years, maybe 40 if I'm lucky, that I get to see a bunch of automated cars all over the roads, and then I could just walk right into them and see if they stop, because I will be that horrible at 88 years old.
You'd be that guy. You're the guy who goes to like the factory and like walks in front of the robot that's going 5 miles an hour just to see if it'll stop and notice.
Yeah.
Or it's like we're really gonna digress real quick, but I love Futurama. Okay, I think it's one of the greatest cartoons that is science fiction type cartoons ever made. You see the one where basically it's the Neanderthals fighting, and they have the big giant sloth, and Hermes is there, and the sloth is like, and Hermes is like, and then stops. He's doing his taxes and stuff because it's still going like this.
It's the same as the Austin Powers. Steamroller scene.
Get out of the way! Move!
Get out of the way!
No! Go!
But anyway, so we totally digress on that. So hey, definitely my feelings on that is what it is. The Teslas are only going to get better. And this is obviously just it is 100% test. This is not their final project.
No, I wish calling it a beta. I mean, obviously,
I wish it was their final, product. Is that would be absolutely hilarious. Where it'll be like, hey, this thing works great, but every so often it goes left. There's like a full disclosure. It's
a circle track car. It's just always leaning to the left.
So we are being the beta for them, and we're also paying $4-5-6 grand. But you know what's a lot cheaper? You know what's a lot cheaper than full self-driving? Ford's version.
Yes.
Like
if you want that segue,
if
you want that segue into the Mustang Mach-E's hands-free driving, and I'm curious to see, David, you said you talked about, or you've experienced the Super Cruise. I have not experienced that at all, but I'm curious about your, I guess, experience on that.
At first, it's actually kind of creepy to turn it on. I mean, a lot of us are now used to having some kind of adaptive cruise control with the distance keeping and lane keeping, but you've got to keep your hands on the steering wheel, or at least like stick an orange in there to give it some weight. As long as it knows that you're there, it'll keep doing that, and you've got to keep your hands on the steering wheel. Super Cruise, you don't have to do any of that. You can take your feet off of the pedals. You can take your hands and just put them on your lap. Don't have to touch a thing. If you want to change lanes, just hit the stalk, and the car will look, and it will change lanes for you. I wish it would turn the turn signal off. That's the only thing that it doesn't do. And when it wants you to take control, the only way they could make it worse in terms of getting your attention is to program it with your mother's voice. Screaming at you, take control of the car now. It's like, Jesus, yes, okay. God, I'm sorry. I haven't experienced it in the Ford yet because that's not out yet, but every one of the Mach-E's is coming with the hardware for it. So you'll see in the steering wheel, you'll have the IR sensors, and you also have the camera, the back-looking camera that's looking at your face. It needs to know that you are paying attention, that you are looking ahead. If there's anything between you and those sensors, it will immediately have you take control of the vehicle. So you can't be reading a book if it thinks you're sleeping or looking at your phone. I did play with it a little bit. If you're wearing a black hat, sunglasses, and a mask because you've got other people in the car with all of our COVID stuff, it doesn't like that because it can't see the features of your face. So you have to be paying attention for this stuff to work. And right now, it's mostly on interstates and major U.S. highways. Super Cruise is good for about 200,000 miles, and the Ford system about 100,000 miles.
Right. Yeah.
The Escalade that I've been driving, that's in our fleet, to answer, I don't know whose question that was. It just
I can't see.
It doesn't display it. Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah.
It's big.
But yeah, it has been the Escalade, and that one runs, I think that one was 113,000. And with the Ford, though, that is coming with all of the Mach-E's, and to activate that, I believe that's going to be $600 when it does come out, and it's an over-the-air reprogram. You don't even have to take it into the dealership for that.
Okay.
Over the air is great. So
Oh
yeah,
my
it says
Yes.
the Mach-E gets 100,000 miles of highway,
Right.
and the Super Cruise is 200,000 miles of coverage, I guess. So it's not just highways, because there's 160,000 miles of highways in the U.S. and 4 million miles of roads. I just looked that up.
Right.
But
And it's talking more limited access. Your interstates, anything where you get on and there's no cross traffic.
So for that being said, Ford in this case has over 2/3 of the highway system already mapped out. It looks like, which is pretty solid. I'm guessing if you're in a fairly populated area, not out in the boonies, it'll probably be able to do this.
What I would like to see is Cannonball Run done
hands-free
with one of these vehicles.
That
hands-free Cannonball.
So Kyle,
Run.
let us know when you do the first hands-free Cannonball Run.
That would be
interesting to try to keep track of. It's like, okay, we're leaving the bar in New York, and everything's got to be your hands on, but you got to keep track of every second,
right,
that you're actually in control of the vehicle, and then when you're not in control of the vehicle. That'd be interesting.
Right. Yeah.
Who do we know who should do that?
So
that's just
who do we know?
So wait, it adds your driving time, like your human controlled driving time to the time.
No, I'm just saying
that's a good system though. Because it's only
what the story should be. How far in Cannonball Run can you do the Cannonball Run hands free?
Right.
Using one of these systems. But you'll have to keep track of that time with a stopwatch or something.
Yeah.
Or you do like you have like fuelers on the side of the road, so you don't really have to like get off the highway. You can just like turn it off real quick, pull over, like get like a big like pull off or rest area or something, instead of like going off the highway to a fuel station.
Well, why even stop?
Oh, well, you have to ask
Indiana
Highway Patrol about that. They may not even be a fan of roadside fueling, so
yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
I was already pushing it, so I
like
where your head is
over, right? Do you know why I pulled you over? No clue. I have no idea. Come on, you know what you did. Like, yeah, I know what I did. I should.
It's like, why does your dashboard look like some 80s sci-fi movie? You got like a million instruments there. What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
What's up there, Marty McFly?
Well, so the question is though, will these things go? See, I didn't ask Kyle enough questions when we had him on.
Oh,
will these things back. I'm sure, but will these things go? And I know obviously a lot of you don't have like a 2-speed transmission like the Taycan. It's hard to get up to a high speed. But will these things really actually cruise at like, 120, 130, 140?
No, I would say
are they just like, whoa, buddy, that is little past our limits. We're not going to let you do that.
You mean if you try to turn it on at 100 miles an hour, will it turn on? I have no idea.
So
it's just a line of program. Or if the car thinks that it's like it can only read the situation at a certain speed.
So honestly, I think something that might fall into the jurisdiction of the government basically saying, well, if this is like auto driving or like autopilot, it's kind of self-driving to a point or whatever, that they might put a restriction in and say, well, cruise control does this, but you're technically still, you got your hands on your wheel, etc. So no biggie. But in this case, because you're kind of releasing control of the car, even though you're monitoring, they may even sit there and say, well, it can only be engaged from speeds from say 25 miles an hour up to 75, because that can happen. But I don't know. I don't think so, because I don't think autopilot even has any restrictions. So you can just take that big battery box out there and slap it down and just put it on auto drive at like 100 miles an hour.
Well, now that I think about it, I did say Taycan, so that's probably why. That's among other reasons why Kyle picked that, because you can actually cruise at a high speed.
So yeah, it's good to see. It's definitely emerging. So it'll be interesting to see how that all works. So I know we're wrapping up Tesla right here, but real quick. So we are going to have that Model 3 modified by Evasive Motorsports will compete in Pikes Peak this year, hill climb. So I saw that
with Dai Yoshihara.
Yeah.
So Die broke down right at Devil's Playground in 2019, which was the last year that I was there. So I've heard he's a super nice dude. So it was cool. I didn't go say hi to him, but it sounded like a lot of people enjoyed hanging out with him. So from a BRZ to a Tesla, and guy's known as a drifter, but certainly a good grip driver in his own right.
So there it is. If for everybody who is
It looks
watching,
good.
It does look good.
It does.
It looks
It
nice.
really
I
does look.
think the
And the Model 3 is not a good looking car.
No,
So it's good.
no,
that
it's a dog.
They really kind of, the whole swan neck wing and
It
everything
just needs
actually
aero.
does well with it. It needs aero. There you go, dude. Just make it look like a DTM car and it's great.
That's great. That actually, it does. You know what? Here, everybody has a Model 3. Here it is. Just put Toyota tires right here. Okay. Get a big old splitter.
Big dive plane.
And big dive plans, and that's it. And your Model 3 will look absolutely fantastic.
little bit of a wide body kit, he'll be great.
Yep. Yep.
And you can take turn 4 at High Plains Raceway faster than you think.
Don't forget to put your Instagram handle on the window.
That's right.
Exactly right. I mean,
Right.
I'm actually, this could be, interesting to see, because it definitely wants to, go after, the EV record for Pikes Peak. So,
Which is currently held by Volkswagen.
yeah, that it is.
Well, this would be a production EV record, I would
Yes.
imagine. You're not gonna. Yeah, that's
no,
a
you're
full,
not going to go after that
purpose-built
one. That's a
prototype,
full
yeah.
purpose-built proto. This is
Yeah.
going to be production.
Yeah, this will be the,
Oh.
the time attack EV record or production EV record, however they classify
Yeah.
it. It means the same thing. It's a production based car. So very good.
So definitely good luck to them.
Yes.
It'll be good to see. So we're just going to wrap that one up on the Tesla talk for today.
That's a good
We're gonna
positive
get
note
into
to end
more
on
fun.
for
Yes,
Tesla. We like
exactly.
Pikes Peak. Pikes Peak
Yes.
is good.
Yes. So let's get into some fun of the things that we really do love. We could talk about some hot hatches and some other good stuff. So I'm just gonna, you know what? This is one that David threw out there, which is the 5 weird car brands that disappeared in the 90s.
I remember
So,
all
so
these.
you. Yes, so do I. But go
I
ahead,
feel like
David.
some nostalgia.
What's the nostalgia road on this one?
Oh
For you.
man,
Well, let's just list the brands really quick. So
I
Yeah, I will.
can't help.
No,
I can't help it. Every time somebody says your Chrysler Jeep, I always still hear Chrysler Jeep
Plymouth.
Eagle.
Oh, Eagle.
Yes, Eagle.
Every time, get
That's
down
one
to
of
your
them, guys.
local Chrysler Jeep dealer. That's what a lot of people, now hear on TV. I grew up with get down to your neighborhood Chrysler Jeep Eagle dealership. It's like, Eagle.
You're really showing your age there, David, because I don't remember that, and I suspect Jordan
do.
doesn't if he's even younger. So.
Oh, I totally do. I remember going to an AMC dealer when I used to come back to the state.
Oh,
Yeah.
AMC is even more so.
Yeah, well, I'm
That is
51 for God's sake.
Eagle made
So-
some interesting cars for a
Yeah.
minute, and it was part of some of that Americanized DSM type of stuff. It wanted to be Japanese, but they had to bring that American quality to it, and it worked for a decade. But that's
Sorry.
it.
Sorry about that. So
Sorry, Terry, you just kind of blew out the microphone. I don't think anybody caught that.
So just real quick, we will go through it. So you got Eagle, Geo.
Shout out Gio.
Yep.
Drove a lot of Gios.
You know,
the Mazda Empire.
the Daewoo,
Daewoo,
Plymouth.
yes.
And this is why Plymouth went under, because this rolling thing. So that's what they're mentioning in the Motor Trend. So
There's a picture of a there's a picture of a
I
Plymouth Prowler on screen for the audio.
Oh, yeah, Plymouth.
That's what Terry's saying.
Plymouth.
Sunk Plymouth, which is probably right.
You think
well-
so?
I don't think it was
Yeah.
doing great. I mean, when did Plymouth have a
It wasn't
seriously
doing great
good brand identity after the 70s? After
Yeah,
after really
this-
the oil embargo.
Like the only thing
This
that really survived
could have done
Plymouth
something
was the
for
neon.
them. Right. But the whole thing is, this could have done something for them, because this is that retro hot rod look.
It's a
And
30s
what
hot
engine
rod
did they stick in it?
look.
What
It's a
did they
V6.
stick in that thing? That's what they
V6.
did. That's what they did.
Can we bring that back and put
I
the
don't know if
6.2 liter Hemi?
Oh, you
Why
sure
you just
can.
put-
I'm sure a lot of
Right.
people will do that for you.
Yeah.
So, but
When
anyway.
Dodge runs out of things to Hellcat, they're going to bring that back.
Please.
See, well,
Oh,
this should have been the
nice.
first thing they Hellcatted.
Second gen Prowler Hellcat. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Straight
It
out.
just sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how far you can stick the most ridiculously wide wheels on it. I mean, it looks ridiculous already. It doesn't matter, if you have your rear tires sticking out another 5 inches from the fender.
Right?
Yeah.
You can just take those little poor excuses for fenders off of the front wheels, and then you got open wheel front.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I mean,
my mom had a couple Geo Metros.
Yes.
That's a good one. She's got a convertible and a hatchback, and the hatchback is completely Hello Kitty themed. She got it painted. She got it painted pink, and she bought a bunch of like giant Hello Kitty decals to put all over it. And there's even an exhaust tip and a Hello Kitty. So
nice.
That's amazing.
Well,
Terry, bring up if you can, a Geostorm.
oh yeah, I was going to talk about that, so don't take my thunder.
I thought that car was super cool when it came out in 92, but keep in mind, I think I was 13 years old.
It's a cool looking car. I mean, if you don't know anything about it.
Yeah, when you're 12, it's
Yeah.
either Lamborghinis or the Geostorm was cool. But if you look at that car, and knowing that Geo went under shortly thereafter, but then Saturn came to be, this is totally a Saturn SC.
Mm-hmm.
And it also has the roots of some of the late 90s, early 2000s, like Cavalier, Sunfire.
Yes. Yes.
You can see where this car was trying to go.
Well,
And
the great
one-
thing about the Storm is this one.
Oh, God, that's terrible.
It's a 2-door hatchback. I love it.
Now, one of our members, the Color Cars and Coffee, they have a red one of these, and they posted a picture of it, and everybody was like, "What is that? What is that? What is that?" And I go, "Geostorm."
Can you imagine? Can you imagine having like a turbo K24 in one of these and some regular ass wheels, and you would just dunk on people? That would be the funniest K swap sleeper ever.
Yeah.
The more I look at it, though, the more I like it.
I mean, basically,
12-year-old you had you had good instincts
because it's
you knew it was good.
Yeah, it really. So I mean, honestly, Geo had some interesting stuff. The Metro was great, but the
Metros got really popular, and when my mom bought them
Yes.
was when gas was going way up, like 2004 to 2006 ish.
But there it is, the Geo Metro convertible.
I've driven a lot of miles in one of these, buddy.
Yep.
I can tell you all about it.
I remember being in one of those in high school, and by then these things were kind of crap boxes. You've got 5 grown adult men in one of these things.
One of those things.
And we're all like squished in there, but we would all like lunge forward with our upper bodies, and the car would actually lurch while it was going down the road. You could not get this thing over 60 miles an hour with us in the car.
No. What? No, sir.
What did that have? Like a 1.4?
It was a 1 liter
3-cylinder.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, they will get 50 miles to the gallon, but it is a tiny engine. And it's not like, I used to have a 3-cylinder Fiesta, and they really kind of figured out how to like dampen some of the vibrations from the engine, but just the way that a 3-cylinder is kind of unbalanced and doesn't have like even another, like a straight 5 has 5 cylinders to dissipate the vibrations. And this one didn't do anything like that at all. Like the shifter, the whole car would be like have that kind of 3-cylinder rumble to it. And then the tracker, Geo tracker / Chevy tracker.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Terry, you found a GMC tracker. I didn't know GMC threw one out there.
They brought it back. Yeah, they brought back the name. Or no, this is not. Oh no, this is the modern one.
I'll guarantee somebody just put a GMC.
Yeah, that's a Fugazi.
But right here, honestly, in my opinion,
Oh,
if
this
you're looking
color,
at Geos,
color and these stripes.
this is the Geo. This is it right here.
And of course, this is a blue.
1992.
It's
Yep.
like a teal blue with pink stripes, and
Yes.
it's so very 90s. If you
And
bring
it's
one
got
of
that
these,
water splash.
bring a mint one of these to a Radwood event, dude. Everybody's gonna be going nuts.
That's it. We're gonna buy one and do an overland mod on it,
Yeah.
and that's it. We'll do it for $1,000.
These
All
were
day.
it right here. You buy this, you go, you turn a corner regularly, it flips over, kills your dog.
It's a great time.
You just buy another dog, move on.
It's a great.
There
So
was a
top
GMC
heavy.
tracker
Oh, there was.
in Canada.
Really?
Oh, it's Canadian.
Canada.
Hey, get your Chevy out of here, huh?
Oh,
Hey.
Canada.
Hey.
Really, we
Let's-
prefer
let's
it to
take
be
this.
GMC.
Let's take the tracker there and go get us some poutine there, eh?
Hey.
I didn't realize. So I didn't realize how many brands Mazda had. Going back to the article,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
like I knew of Eunice, and like an AutoZam AZ1 is still like cream of the crop for me for kid
Oh, it's
cars.
the
And their
Apex K
values,
car.
yeah, their value spikes have shown that's the same for a lot of people.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, that Mazda had a lot of good. But I remember Geos. I remember the Storms.
Do you know who? So, a nice note about Geo. Do you got a little short trivia here? Do you know who runs their former factory now?
Who?
No.
Tesla.
You kidding?
Huh.
Yep, that's the Fremont, California factory. That's where Tesla
No
moved into
kidding.
and where they used to make Geo. Yeah.
So just to annoy. Sorry, Misha. I kind of found this and it said worst sports cars.
Geostorm. But because it's one of the worst is why you would want to have a 500
Right.
horsepower turbo K24 with some just regular wheels and tires, so nobody suspects a thing.
Terry,
We
pull that one up
basically-
in a Saturn SC3.
Yeah, well, yeah, because we all know they're the same car. They're all the same.
Of
car.
course, yeah.
But
it's a shared
I'm just
platform for
looking
GM
at-
the time.
Why they're saying it was bad. So base versions underpowered, 95 horsepower. Spot he's one of
Hey, that's not
Second
bad.
design.
The Metro is like 55.
Yeah.
95. That's a hot rod, man.
So there you go. There's the Geostorm. I don't know. I mean, I remember when it came out, it was kind of like interesting. So they're definitely
I
a
like
niche
the
car, and I'm
commercial.
glad that there's still. I'm glad you still see them on the road, especially the hatch,
Yep.
because the hatch is a rarity, guys. It's a rarity
Yeah.
to see the hatch.
Yep.
So definitely something cool. Okay, so we were going for the wonderful world of 5. Do we want to continue that one, or we want to go to hot hatch action?
Hot hatch.
Love it.
Well, hot
Love
hatch
that.
action, baby. I gotta stop sharing so you guys don't.
Well,
see it.
we're on an obscure. Well, this is all obscureness, but
Everything's
this
obscure.
these hot hatches are well. If you're here, there's always some obscure weird Renault that was around in the 80s. You know.
Yes, yes. So we're gonna get into some 1980s, like basically 21 forgotten hot hatches. I'm gonna share the screen real quick, but I think all of us here have a love of the hot hatch, no matter what generation
My
you are
first
from.
car was a hot
Either
hatch.
from the greatest generation ever to exist, which, well, that's the greatest generation, but they didn't have hot hatches back then. They had Jeeps. Generation X, we created these wonderful things. So enjoy this.
These things are great.
You
These
know,
are great, though. I mean,
I do love a hot hatch.
it's the whole idea. It's the whole idea of just taking your mom's hatchback and throwing a turbo on it and a stiff rear roll bar, and you go cruising around the mountain roads and lift a wheel off the road. So
Yeah, I mean,
it's great.
I'll straight out. I mean, for me, the hot hatch was something because when they first started coming out, which is one of the very, very first ones that I ever saw was the Mark I Golf GTI. And
Yep.
most people here know I grew up in England. So before the time of the hot hatch, you were dealing with essentially Morris Minors, which are disgusting and all should be destroyed. Austin Maxis, Austin Minis, not Cooper S's. They were around, but the average ones you saw were just the regular Minis. You had old, 1950s, etc., like big old Bentleys. You had all those things. So nothing was really standing out. It was really cool. You had some good French stuff that came in and other things. But when you're a teenager and you're kind of getting that preteen and you're into fast cars, my love of an E-Type is well known. I love an E-Type because it's a beautiful car. But when these started coming out, it's just amazing because then it was something affordable that
it's the accessibility factor.
You were looking at, I'm about to get my license eventually. Can I get one of these cars? I.e., can I convince my father to stop buying pieces of crap and buy me this?
Nope.
No, and that never happened, by the way, which is a completely different podcast one day. We will discuss every single garbage car my father ever bought. But
I feel like it comes up so much that it has to be closer rather than farther away.
Yeah, exactly. But
we'll for sure do it.
We're just going to go through a couple of these.
This Mazda 323 turbo is so good. And this was this would have been like the WRC days post Group B, of course.
Yep.
And reduce the power, and it's perfect for somebody like Mazda. They had already
right.
They were already kind of developing. They already had the RX-7, pretty established, and they were developing the Miata at this time. So, why just go racing? And even the Miata engine was a variant of this same engine too, which was also what you would find in just a regular B2000 truck.
Yep.
So,
and then there's it street livery,
homologation special, love it.
Just lean doing that old lean.
Yeah,
beautiful.
It's a rally car.
So the Volkswagen Golf Rally.
See, I didn't know about this one, but it just looks like a Golf with box fender flares on it, which is great.
Yeah, basically,
it's a good looking car.
It's
the boxy flares are always so good on 80s cars. You can't go wrong.
Boxy flares are amazing. So basically it's basically the rally is attempt to challenge the Lancia and all that for World Rally. It's 158 brake horsepower, etc. So it's just they really boxed it out.
Show up to this at the dub meet.
Yeah,
it
was
People
double the price. Think about it. It was like nearly double the price of a Golf GTI.
Yeah, it's a homologate. I think they still had a lot of the same rules as they did for Group B, which is that you have to make a certain number of production cars. So you end up with these homologation specials. And of course, the more desirable Group B ones are way up there. A Ford RS200 is, there's only 200 of them. You always have that. You always have that literally 200 of almost all of these. So you always have that. Same with like the Lancia Delta S2. Probably those two are like the really big ones, but as well as the Audi Quattro.
Yeah.
But they're $500,000 plus.
But you gotta love boxy.
It's perfect. Boxy. I'm not even a Volkswagen guy, and you just gotta love the box flares on the thing.
So I know this car for a reason. With one good reason. So my best friend in England, my very best friend in England, he has a Mark IV GTI. So he was looking for one of these, and he could never find one that was in good condition or people were willing to let go. So he loves GTIs. Okay, the hot hatch bug bit him hard when the Mark I came out, and we both said when we were children, this is no like made up BS story. When we were kids, like preteens, 10, 11 years old, and we saw these things, we both said that he said, I will own a GTI one day and it will be black. And I said, I will own a BMW one day and it'll be black. He owns a black Mark IV GTI, which he bought and he has and always will have. And I have my black BMW. So it's just amazing how time goes on. We both decided what we really wanted. But then we have the Renault 11 Turbo. How to take a average garbage car and make it more garbage.
That's what, like I said before, with
There it is.
the French cars, it's all you, man. This is we grew up here in this country. We don't know. At least I think we all did. We don't know anything about this.
This to me is another example of anything French just giving up.
Yes, that's so. That's so 1940 of you. So
I know they're like, hey, man, come check us out in 1917. All right, we did a lot. Okay.
Yeah, don't lose your head over it.
We were serious. Like, did you see Verdun? It was crazy.
So basically, this is just a basic Renault 11, and they just turboed it. It's like 1.4 liter. I mean, I remember these a little bit. There was a couple of them around, but it never caught my fancy. So this one can go away.
I love it compared to the hot hatches of today. Just one theme that I've seen with this is just the leaningness. Like they actually they really try to develop. They put a lot of thought into the suspension nowadays, and they're a lot stiffer and often not comfortable just because the layout of the car. It's all in front, but back then they just had these like wallowy, like big tall springs and kind of slower shocks.
Yeah. You gotta love it.
Somebody watched some Winnie the Pooh cartoons and went, "Oh, this Tigger guy. Yeah. How do we make that bounce into our cars?"
Yes,
that's what that is. Tigger is what inspired the spring, the spring and shock suspension on cars. That is a fact. So
yes. Oh no, yes.
Oh,
yeah, no. Well, everybody knows that. If you don't know that, you're
not a car guy.
Yeah, no.
Well, the wonderful thing about Tiggers.
So anyway, the Alpha 33, of course,
we have to mention an Alpha. I mean,
I love Alphas from this generation.
They're so overly boxy and cool looking. This is my favorite generation of cars. I just can't get away from it.
Steve should put these wheels on his Alpha.
Yes,
which are essentially the Alpha. If you're familiar with the old BMW bottle cap wheels, they're essentially the Alpha versions of those. Fantastic.
I mean, these things were great. I saw a couple of those, but
if Steve, now this is serious. If Steve could work with a company that makes like more custom wheels and get like some 20s that are kind of like a newer, like right offset version, like some HREs, that could be quite cool on his car.
Yes. Oh yes. He should do it.
I'll think about it.
These wheels though.
And yes, we will get to the Opel Vauxhall Astra and Corsas.
That's in here. Don't worry.
So I'm skipping a few because there's a lot in here. Okay. Who remembers the Mitsubishi Colt Turbo?
Oh my God.
This is awesome.
So these things are amazing. Absolutely amazing. And over here, it was the Mitsubishi Mirage because they changed the name on it. It was originally the Colt, and then they came out with the Mirage in the mid 80s, like 83, 84, when they came out with the boxy Starion with the big old bulging wheel arches, which my brother owned one, by the way. I love these things because they were fast. So my sister's boyfriend at the time, Peter, he bought a Mirage Turbo, and he doesn't listen to the podcast. So it was no big deal. I used to steal his keys and drive it in Jersey. And hey, my brother Starion, I used to steal that and go drive that too. It was great. But yeah, I always love these little things because they're just great.
Here's the Vauxhall Astra.
Yeah. Oh, no, I just want to finish up.
This has more horsepower than my Fiat 500 did.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Look at that. Modern 500.
It's just great. But here it is, kids. The Vauxhall Astra GTE. There it is. Little 1.8, 115 brake. Ah, yes. So the neighbors
it's so incredibly just bad GM from the 80s looking.
Yes.
And that name continued well into the 2000s.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, the star in a reasonably priced car was an Opel, or I think it was a Vauxhall Astra at one point.
It was Vauxhall, and then it was an Opel Astra, and then it was the Saturn Astra. Mm-hmm. And that would have been one of those. That would have been a great car had they put the 2-liter turbo that came out of like the Sky and the Solstice that is still in like everything now. Would have been an amazing car, but it was always just a little wanting.
Yes. So
yeah, those Ecotech motors are actually quite good. They're an alternative to the they're like a cheaper alternative to the Honda K series for a lot of people.
Yeah,
definitely.
They work well.
So in case anybody I know there, we did have a comment on the Opel Astra and Corsa. If anybody's interested on the GTE, and it is on Disney Plus, if you just go to their streaming service, you have it to National Geographic. There's a show called Car SOS, which I've mentioned before. They actually have a GTE on there.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
So moving forward, the Fiat Strada Barth.
I love that it's called a Strada Barth, because a Barth is like the racing division of Fiat, and Strada just means like, highway.
So I remember these for the simpler. Well, I know for several reasons why. There was a couple of these running around. One of the parents had one of these, but it's the typical Barth thing. It's like, take Fiat car, stick big engine in, and that's it.
Well, it's got 130 horsepower. It's better than my Miata.
That's it. In this case, they put the engine up front and they could close the the hood. But we all know the other Barth where it's opened up because the engine was too big. They're like, well, screw it, just put a whale tail on it. We're good. It's just great. So this thing I remember for two reasons. One, I saw a couple of them running around. I always wanted to do one, just get in one and drive it. After I was crammed inside of one with majority of my brothers and sisters and my father and my horrible person who my father married after my mother passed in Portugal. My father managed to squeeze basically almost 9 people into that damn car.
Wow.
That's impressive.
That's my father.
You guys were your own clown car.
Oh, my God, dude.
You had a little dog that came out too?
Yeah, that was me. So,
another Metro.
Oh, well, it's the MG Metro. So we'll mention this really, really quickly. It's garbage.
What size tires are those?
Think about it. It's a mini Metro.
Oh my God, 9?
Yeah, it's a mini Metro.
Incredibly tiny.
I didn't know they made single-digit rims.
Yes, mini Metro. So MG Metro is after, this is British Leyland doing things to say, how can we disguise the fact that most of the time we're on strike and not building cars correctly? Oh, we'll call it an MG. So these things are just terrible. They're just garbage. We're skipping that. Boom. There.
This is good. I don't think anybody forgot about the Lancia Delta HF turbo.
There it is.
This is good. If you like this era and you like racing and you like especially hot hatches, there's no chance you forgot this.
This is just, I would love,
absolutely
love to get one, Lancia Delta Integrale HF turbo. I would love to get one. I truly would. Absolutely. Honestly, I would sell people for this car.
Well, it's only money. It's only money, Terry. You can sell a lot of human beings and get one of these, so don't worry about it.
I love these cars. I've always loved these cars. So, it's as simple as that, so that's the great thing about it. And no, actually, we haven't talked about the Honda City yet, so it might come up. It might come up.
Terry, I had to go back. The MG Metro, those were 165/80 R13s.
So 13-inch tires was that's pretty standard for a lot of the hatches.
That was standard.
Okay. Sure.
I think my Escort had those, but that's just 165/80. It's like, wow.
James's mom, who was my second mom, she had a regular mini Metro. I hated that car. Gene, if you're listening, and you're not, I hated that car.
I gotta jump off, but Steve's gonna replace me.
Okay, cool.
All right,
Tag
see you,
team.
Jordan.
See you guys.
Oh, and anyway, now here's Steve. So, hi, Steve, and how are you today?
What's going on?
You feeling very hippo? Good. And yes, MG Austin Metro. These are from British manufacturer. You are correct, 100%, because that's where I lived. So, Steve, You own a highly reliable Alfa Romeo.
It is. It actually
Lancia
is.
Delta. You know you want this. Why don't you get this instead of the GTV?
Oh, I got my heart set on the GTV6, so I'm not sure about this Lancia.
Oh, it's beautiful.
This is superior. to
Holy
me.
cow! Look
I
at
know
that.
it's just. I
Now-
know it's just.
Let that next picture. There we go.
That's good. This thing's about to roll over.
The
I think. This is-
Citroen, the Citroen BX GTI 16 valve. Yes.
It looks like what engineers thought cars in 2000 would look like in a bad knockoff RoboCop movie.
No, John, we're not bringing you on the podcast. We don't want someone attractive. I know you're biting in the backstage. Oh, bring me on. The attractive. No.
But yeah,
I'm picking on you.
these are great. I mean, look at this thing. I mean, it's just, I don't know how you can call this a hot hatch, but it's just great.
It's vaguely hatchy.
It's the French, man. They're so quirky. You just gotta
It
love
looks like a bad sci-fi
Yes.
vehicle.
I mean, look, it's wonderful right here. This guy seems so happy to be driving something that is either going to kill him or it's just going to break down the side of the road. It's just beautiful. No, we are not talking about the MG Meister. This thing is a rolling bucket.
I've heard about that.
A
Sure you did,
rolling
John. Sure you did, John.
bucket. Not happening. Look at that ugly thing. I still have nightmares of the television commercials about this car.
Oh yeah, it's not good. Oh, Nissan March
Now, this is a rarity.
Super Turbo.
Most people won't remember this one or even seen this one, but this thing is kind of fun.
This is supercharged and turbo, right?
I do believe it's
Didn't the Mighty Car Mods do a whole episode
They
in
had
Japan about this? It
they're
was
big,
awesome.
They're big fans of the.
Yep,
the
there it
different
is.
Nissan,
I love
different
I love their
Marches.
article.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
Mighty Car.
love these things.
Yeah,
Marty and
so
Moog did a great job.
right here is March Super Turbo's tiny 930cc 4-cylinder boasted both a turbocharger and a supercharger,
Yes.
just like the Group B Lancia Delta S4.
It's great that TurboTech was so bad back in the day that they were
That
just
you
like,
had to-
how do we get this 930cc motor to boost up?
Yes.
Well, it's probably better to just put a turbocharger on it because it's going to be a while to spin that turbo up.
I mean, and the fact that it only weighed 800 kg. 800 kg.
Fantastic.
It's like
For-
108
for-
brake horsepower. You know.
Hmm.
For
Oh,
American listeners, that's about 1,700 pounds.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's
hey, you guys need to learn the metric system.
makes a
Okay.
Lotus Elise look heavy.
Never.
2.2 pounds. Come on, man. It's an easy enough conversion.
It's just, I mean, this thing is just, just get your hands on one of these things and just whip it around a couple of corners, knowing that it's lifting that rear wheel right up and like,
Why do you do donuts in it backwards?
it's just great.
I think
I would-
part of the point is just to listen to the
Yes.
sounds that it makes, the supercharger and then the turbo.
I would want one of these and a Shogun.
Oh, the Shogun is
Shogun for
coolest.
sure. Yes.
Okay. Honestly,
I got a soft spot for that one.
yeah.
which is of course if you don't know, the mid-engine Fiesta hatchback with the SHO V6 sitting over the rear axle.
It's just
And
beautiful.
there is a local one
Yes,
that's
is.
around, owned by, there's only 3 or 4 in the world of the Shoguns,
Mhm.
and then one lives here.
There's 7.
7. Okay, so there's
Yep.
one that lives here, and Jay Leno owns one. And
Yes.
yeah, it's about as rare as it gets. I mean, there's 100 McLaren F1s. There's 7 Fiesta Shoguns.
So I also remember the Ford Sierra XR4i.
Oh yeah, I don't think anybody forgot about this one. This one was
Is that a Mercure
yeah,
Well,
Mercure
this-
in the
Yeah,
in the
over
States,
here,
yeah.
over here is the Mercury
XR4i?
Sierra
Yeah,
XR4i.
I remember
And-
those.
Kind of the cousin of the Escort,
Yeah,
right.
which
Yeah, it
was
is.
my first car.
And that was big in England, like the
Yep.
Escort Cosworth, followed by the Sierra Cosworth.
Yep.
I
Well, the
just
Sierra Cosworth is the better one to get if you're going to do it, but the most popular Escort back was the RS 1600i.
Right.
click the link that I just put in the chat, and that's the Escort that I had. But that one in the link is nicer.
That's that was a beauty.
So in case
yeah.
any of you ever want a Geo Metro to be fast, Suzuki Swift GTI.
Perfect.
It's even in the name.
Yep.
No. We all know about this one.
It's a Civic.
Yeah, nobody forgot about the
Yeah.
CRX.
This is English, no, but I think there's another one in here. There we go.
Oh
the
yeah,
Toyota Corolla GTI 16.
this one some people might have forgotten about
Yeah.
because this is more out there, but so cool.
Yeah.
Alex has a red, it's like an FX 16, I think.
Yes.
It's even a weirder version.
Yep.
Yes.
You can
Yep,
tell
I've
it's little
seen that.
details,
I've seen that car.
Well, Brent kind of worked on it, I believe.
He sure did. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Brent knows his '80s Toyota stuff.
Yeah,
and
he
I don't think Alex did. So he sent it to him.
But yeah, definitely that's I'm gonna click this so we can. Oh God, you own that heap of okay, cool.
Wait, yeah.
Oh,
no.
the
Mine,
80
yeah, mine.
Escort. Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah,
It was,
I'll try
it
to
was
share that real
four-
quick.
Yeah,
That car was $4,000 brand new, and when my mom bought it, she did not get the optional passenger side mirror.
Well, you don't
Oh,
need
that's
it.
good.
You got a
It
passenger.
was $25 more. This one's actually nice compared to the one I had.
That's just fantastic. That is amazing.
Yeah,
Absolutely
those
amazing.
Escorts were everywhere, David, when I was growing up. My
Oh,
cousin
I know.
had one. My cousin had an Escort GT. My friend at church had a generic Ford Escort, and yeah, they were everywhere. Ford
What's funny is
Tempos, all that stuff.
they were so ubiquitous that they actually have them in the Henry Ford Museum to say this was a car we sold a lot of, and the only
Yeah.
car that they've sold more of at this point is probably the F-150. It was just so terrible. But 4 kids from Detroit to Tampa in the back with a turtle topper. You do
Yeah.
that today, and
Nice.
you're getting pulled over.
Yeah, it's not good. How long have we been going here?
An hour and 16, so we're gonna wrap it up.
Oh, okay.
pretty much.
So
Oh yeah,
what's a
Toyota Starlet.
What's it look like?
Oh well, the
It
Starlet
looks like
is
a Starlet.
it's a little 80s hatchback. The Starlet is what the Puerto Rican drag racers that run the rotary engines like. They get those things wheeling down the track. Put a ladder bar suspension in that thing, 13B turbo, literally bigger than the engine. It's perfect. Plenty of anti-lag, man. You don't got to worry about it.
If this thing will open correctly.
Please look. Yeah. Show this to everyone because this is a nice bring a trailer version.
Yep.
Well, this is the Starlet GT.
That
Yeah,
don't look
but-
bad. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. No. It's not. It's not terrible, but you can. But this is, like I said, this is the GT version. The regular one was not
Sure.
as like motorsportsy. But look up a Starlet drag car because that's where the fun is.
Well, here.
Toyota Starlet drag. It's good enough. It's going to be dressed
Yeah,
as a
I
lady.
got
Okay. Anyway,
I
here we
got
go. Here we go. Yes. This is what I'm talking about, man. Big, huge roll bar on the back of it. I guarantee. What's the speed? It runs 6.5.
Yeah.
6.5.
Look at that.
6.5 seconds in
So
this
the
thing. Can you
210 miles
imagine?
an
Full
hour.
quarter mile? Full quarter. Holy
Yep.
cow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Woo! 6.5
one
and 210,
runs-
baby. We're
This
doing
one's
it.
A 662. This one's a 666.
Oh, that's a good number.
698. 673.
No
67.
wonder he didn't try to improve from 6.666.
So yeah, this is
Right? It's like,
So
no,
these-
I'm done.
No,
these are the
that's
Starlets,
perfect.
kids. These are the Starlets. But
Or you could improve to 6.420. That works too. But no,
Just one more from
I love the Starlet dragsters, and I love that some of these have Mazda 13B rotaries.
But one from
Escort
my-
XR3.
Yeah, this is from my youth, my 80s.
Okay, no, this isn't bad.
From my 80s-ness right here. There you go.
This is just some guy named Nigel driving that, just coming home from work on the B roads. You know, he's over in Essex, but he works in London, and damn it, he's gonna drive a nice road.
I'm an Essex boy to the death. Ford Escort.
That's right.
Straight out.
My mom would laugh if I showed up at her house in one of those, and I, with my big dumb smile on my face, going, "Yeah, this is an Escort."
But there was one, and there's the other one, which is the Fiesta Xr2.
Yeah.
This I didn't know about.
Oh, you didn't know about this bad boy?
No. It looks just like a Fiesta with some rally lights on it.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
guess it's got some small fender flares, little fender flares.
So it's fender flares and stuff like that. These things were great. The other hot hashes that came out, you're just like, you know.
What was What was the build quality like on these 80s?
Not bad. They were not that bad.
They were built in. Well, no. These were built in. These were built in England, Steve.
Yeah, these are England. This ain't your shitty American Ford.
Okay.
That's why I was asking. I know
the American
quality.
We know that
that's not so good. I remember that.
We know that. We know that David's Escort was terrible.
Oh
yeah, I was worried. I was wondering about these things. These were built by.
These things are pretty good. And just look at that. I just love that 80s interior of like
the steering wheel is ridiculous. It's like it's basically a 2-spoke, but it's almost like a 4-spoke because it's just got the little like circles at the end of it. Well, I don't know what do you put? You put your thumb through those circles?
Oh no,
pork pies. Oh,
yes,
that does make sense.
This is the pork pie holder,
and you put your face up to it.
Yes, and you just drive and you go.
Hey. No, something else I noticed about this: pretty good bolstering in the seats.
Yes.
Pretty good for an '80s car. That's huge. That's like it really took that. I mean, look at that next to like the like a pair of like standard Porsche seats from the mid 2000s. I mean, that's pretty good. 1979 Ford Capri.
Ooh.
Terry's just Google imaging his
I grew all these cars.
And that's
this is
completely different from the Mercury Capri, right?
Oh, completely. Yeah. Nothing in common with it except the
this
name
was the English. Like honestly, these are like the English Mustangs. If you look at it that way,
I can see the influences. Yeah,
really just. Oh, I loved these cars. I absolutely adored Capri.
Was it those little straight 6 in that, or?
Yeah, some were 4 cylinders, some were 1800 straight 6 V6s were put in. I mean, I just love these things. I've always loved them.
Oh, that's really cool. And the gray with the green stripes. That's nice.
I mean, you know, this is a 3-liter.
I like the other headlights better though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is getting into the
80s. The 4 headlights is cool.
Okay.
This is the 80s. Now, this was the Ford Mustang, Ford Capri injection. So it's just like the boy racer with no power.
Nice.
No power. And it had injection.
Because carburetors are old hat.
2.8 injection.
Injection. This was the era where they would write like the
you had that, and you had the Ford Capri laser.
Ooh, it's a laser.
See, I just like reliving my youth of growing up in England and just remembering all these great cars.
Oh, one in grabber blue. That was cool. I can't. That couldn't have been original.
Is the garbage American one?
Yeah, the Mercury Capri, exactly.
Followed by
the later Mercury Capri.
Yep.
The Capri
convertible. Plymouth Laser.
The Plymouth Laser.
Well, that was
that was such a cool car.
That was the Chrysler K car generation with Lee Iacocca.
Yeah.
Ego Z mentions the Subaru SVX.
Oh,
you guys remember those with the weird windows that would kind of?
It wasn't until the 90s. It wasn't until the 90s, and that's a weird quirky Subaru, and
Yeah,
of course
sure
has
is.
a front engine flat six.
Yep.
But there's a bigger concentration of they're a little bit like the BMW 325iXs. They are rare, but there's a bigger concentration of them around Denver. There's like
I
a
forgot
decent
about it.
community
Good
I haven't
of them.
seen many SVXs around.
I've seen several driving
you?
around. Yeah, they're not the most. I mean, still not the most common, but I have seen like a good number of them around this area.
Cool.
Really?
Yeah, there's a few.
I had to keep an eye out for that. I forgot all about that car. That's good call, Steve.
Yep, that's really good.
So what
we're
else?
just having fun. Well, I don't know. What else have we got? I mean,
That's
You guys
probably.
you want to end on a happy note?
yeah. Let's end on a
Yeah.
happy note.
Give us a white pill,
So-
bro.
Right. We'll go out good here. So did you guys see the story about the man from Vermont who went to
Oh, yeah,
Paris
here.
at the beginning of the pandemic? And for him, the closest airport is Montreal. He just hopped the border, boom,
okay.
and you can get over to Paris. Well, this was just as the pandemic started. So he goes to Paris for 2 weeks, goes to get on his flight home, and Canada says, no, you cannot come into Canada. Well, his car was still in Canada. And so he had to fly back to the United States, and it took him a year to get his RAV4 back.
Yeah.
And what was really kind of nice is the airport knew what was going on. They knew that he couldn't come get his car, so they didn't charge him for any of the parking.
That's
And
nice.
he found this really nice young lady that had family in Vermont, and she was a dual citizen, so she could cross the border freely. So he sent her the keys, all the documentation that she would need to get across the border, and they thought, oh, this is going to be hell getting across the border. This isn't her car. The border agent knew the story.
Oh
And
wow.
had already heard about this, so they just let her straight through.
Wow.
And now they're married, right?
No, that'd be
Yes.
but it's just a great way. A lot of it's a really stupid situation, but a lot of good people kind of came together to make sure everything was going to go well, and took a while, but he finally got his car back.
Well, that's cool.
The battery was dead, but
No, but
So-
yeah.
little ray of hope, and our faith in humanity is restored.
Yes. And on like a follow up, she was arrested at the border coming back into Canada
Right.
for illegal importation of real bacon.
Oh no.
And
Not-
poutine.
Real bacon, not that Canadian bacon round, like pork loin. She brought in that real bacon, and the Canadians are like, excuse me? That's
Like,
We have
There you
bacon?
go.
We have Canadian bacon.
we have Canadian bacon. How
No,
dare you?
Damn.
But that is
Hey,
a
what,
great story.
hey, buddy, why is it in strips, man? Should be in
Yeah.
should be in circles.
Yeah.
I'm not your
It's-
buddy, that guy.
What's this white stuff? Eh?
Hey,
Hey,
Is
we
that fat, eh?
I don't think this is what you want to be chopping up and putting into poutine. Okay.
Yeah. Eh? Okay.
yeah, there, buddy.
So you got to go watch Strange Brew.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you hoser. You hoser.
There you go.
Strange
Doug and
Brew.
Bob McKenzie.
I love that. And someone threw a squid on the ice. That's just that movie's great.
Don't you know there? Eh?
It's just such
You
a
gotta
great
get
movie.
Doug and Bob McKenzie there, and you gotta and get Margie
Yeah.
up there from
Well,
down there in Fargo, and everything will be good. And get
found
one or two youpers there too.
we found this dead mouse in the beer bottle, eh? Anyway, we should
Yeah.
wrap it up on
Yeah.
our wonderful.
If we're just
interesting
exchanging
podcast.
Canadian accents,
Yes.
it's the time to do it. So
I think it's
It is
movie
time.
quotes now. We're talking movie quotes.
that's right.
So we're gonna wrap it up. We'll close it out with our sponsor for the mention. It's going to be Greeley Auto Spa. So Greeley Auto Spa is operated by Zach Worth, who's a personally is a very nice guy. We've talked to him many
He
times.
is.
So he really is a good guy. So it is family owned and operated. They are an Expo Platinum dealer and Ceramic Pro flagship. They do offer window tinting, clear bra, paint protection film, detailing, custom exhaust, and a lot of do-it-yourself products, custom details, and graphics to an extent on the graphics. So if you're interested, just reach out and vehicle wraps, you can contact him. And I'm actually going to be smart. And for people that are listening, I'll read it out, but the people who are not, you can just read it right off here. But you can reach out. He does have his Facebook, which is essentially, www.facebook.com / Greeley Auto Spa, all one word. He's on IG. So Instagram is Greeley_Auto Spa. And his web is www.greeleyAutospa.com, all one word, of course. And then if you do want to email him, give him a good. It's greeleyautoSpa@gmail.com. And benefits of being part of Color Cars and Coffee is 15% off a ceramic pro package. And I get free headlight detailing, door edges, door cups, partial front flip clear bar, and 20% off a signature detail package. Buy one, get one half off hand wash and vacuums. So very, very good. So thank you very much to Zach for being a sponsor, and everybody should really, for up in Greeley, check it out. And he does excellent work. So it's definitely family owned, and how that is perfect.
I thought it was really cool how he does custom exhaust as well.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
He does all this detailing products and services, but also offers
custom exhaust work.
Yeah, exhaust work. That's that's interesting.
Yeah,
Cool.
definitely. So definitely check him out. So we're going to wrap this one up. We got things that we need to go do. In my case, it's going to bed. And I don't know, the rest of them stay up late because they like to stay up late. I don't. But definitely stay in touch with us. Visit your local car scenes that are going on, the events, everything. Use your favorite social media channel. We are on pretty much all of them. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube and more. So definitely check that out. And, that's it from us here at Color Cars and Coffee. Thank you very much. And we will see you next week.
Goodbye.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Hippo.
No.